Hello there! I'm going to be talking about why it's taken me almost 7 years to get my undergraduate degree and how that's kind of affected me. So I'm currently doing my Bachelor's of Science in Nursing, and that typically takes 4 years. When all is said and done, it will have taken me 6.5 to 7 years. I started school in 2014 and I will graduate in May 2021. The reason it's taken me so long is that my first year of university, my mom passed away. That was super difficult because she was my biggest support system and my best friend. I was only 19. She also passed away from sepsis, which is a blood infection, and it really took 4 days for her to pass. The Thursday night, she was delirious and wasn't making much sense, and then that following Sunday, she passed away. She was only 56, and none of us were expecting that to happen, so the suddenness of her death really took a toll on us. Losing a loved one is hard enough as it is, but especially with sudden deaths, it's like a delayed grieving process. Like, it took a few months for me to realize that she was actually gone, and at first it was like this giant shock that it even happened. Again, death itself is never easy to cope with when it's somebody you love and care about. And there's like benefits and deficits. Like when you know somebody's gonna die because they're diagnosed with cancer or cardiovascular disease, it's difficult because you're watching them suffer, but you also have time to emotionally process it. I don't think you're ever okay with somebody passing away, and it's always going to hurt, but it's less shocking, I guess, when it's sudden. Like, neither is easier than the other, and that's not what I'm saying, but I'm just saying the suddenness was very difficult to cope with, so I needed a year off from school. And then after my second year of nursing, when I was starting my third year, I took time off again. This is because I felt like I was a trans woman and I didn't know how to deal with that. I wasn't ready to deal with that, and it made me severely depressed, so I took time off. I went back, did my third year. As I was transitioning, found it really difficult and really hard. I didn't present as female because I was way too scared. And then when I started presenting as female, the summer going into my last year, I took another year off. This is because I just wanted to transition and feel comfortable in my own skin and look more quote unquote passable, as I've talked about in the last video. That took a while, that was a process. And then I was going to start my fourth year again this year, but I had a mental health blip. I was in the hospital in September for depression and suicidality. I just felt so uncomfortable in my own skin and so alone and segregated from the people I care about most. And a lack of social connectiveness really increases depression, and loneliness is highly correlated to depression. It was just a really bad time. Now it sucks that I'm feeling better and it's still the first semester, but I've missed like a month and a half. I'm just disappointed that it's been taking me so long. Like, I think as people, we compare ourselves a lot to other people, and we have these imaginary timelines of when we're supposed to complete things. Oh, I have to be done my bachelor's at this age, and I have to be done my master's at this age, and married at this age, and pregnant at blah 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 blah. But really, we're all just on our own journey, and if somebody doesn't understand the journey you're going on, it's not for them to understand. We're all just doing the best we can. Doesn't matter what age you are, when you accomplish something and you do something that makes you feel better about yourself, good for you. I mean, sure, it will have taken me 7 years, but when all is said and done and I'm like 40 years old, I'm not gonna care how long it took me. I'm just gonna be happy I'm doing something that I'm proud of doing. Even if you're 40 and you wanna go back to school then, who cares? At least you're doing what you wanna do. We all just have to ease up and give less fucks. If you want to go back to school, do it. It doesn't matter if people are younger than you and you feel so old. It's cool. I remember my first year of nursing, there were people who were significantly older than me and already had kids and came back to do it, and I think those people are very commendable. They have these responsibilities that I didn't have at the time, like taking care of a family and having a loved one, like a husband or a wife, and balancing that as well as school and a full-time job to afford all of it. Just do you. You can do it. That's been my post-secondary experience. Have a good one. Toodles.